Major updates for the Buffalo Bills this past bye week. Life without Joe Brady might be coming faster than we think, as well as Sean McDermott gave a great injury update on the defense side of the ball. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bills Digest. I'm your host, Anthony Senicar, and holy smokes, what an absolute crazy bye week for the Buffalo Bills. Major stories on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and we're going to break it down for you guys all right here at Bills Digest. Well, it looks like the head coaching rumor mill has already started, and the rumors are swirling all over the place. Just this past weekend, after the Chicago Bears lost, Matt Eberflus put the final nail in his head coaching coffin, and Las Vegas just released some odds for who's going to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. And would you look at who's at the top of that list? Not Ben Johnson, but Mr. Joe Brady himself. And you know what? It's great for him. I think that if the Bills win a Super Bowl or even make a deep playoff push, that he will probably get a head coaching gig. And I think Chicago's a good fit for him. I think that the Chicago Bears as an organization don't want to screw up Caleb Williams, and I think keeping Eberflus for the extra season really didn't help with his development. There were a lot of moments this year where you can kind of just tell that Caleb looked lost. He was looking for these long developing routes. And again, Joe Brady can come in and fix that because he did a perfect job of fixing that with the Buffalo Bills. If you guys remember, Ken Dorsey loved to have these long developing routes and kind of make Josh look like Superman. A lot of teams were giving up this too high shell safeties, and Ken Dorsey kept trying to go over it or trying to pick at it, and it wasn't working. And again, what I like to call Ken Dorsey PTSD, which is having your offense look stale and making it look like you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, like banging your head against a brick wall. And that's what Ken Dorsey did. And now with Joe Brady, the Bills' offense looks completely different. He has absolutely made this offense his own. Last year, he took over mid-season and kind of just did what he could with the pieces he had. You can see it last year, Joe Brady with the run game. Jimbo had exploded onto the scene, and now looks like a top 5 running back in the league, in my opinion, as well as Ray Davis now looks great. And again, last year you saw with Stephon Diggs, he tried to put him in what is now the Khalil Shakir role, and Stephon obviously didn't want that role. And now with Shakir, he is having a breakout season. Again, look at the stats. Shakir, James Cook, both leading the team in their respective categories. The Bills are still putting up crazy offensive numbers, third in the league in points per game at 29.1 points per game, as well as Josh's turnovers are way down. Turnovers are averaging 1 turnover a game, but that's fumbles as well as interceptions. Josh is top 3 right now in the league in interceptions, i.e. not having them. And everything is down right now for Josh on the turnover margin. And I think Joe Brady has really just helped out this offense a lot. I think that he has really developed this offense into his own, and I think there's kind of shades at Chicago of this Bills offense. You got DeAndre Swift, which is kind of an equivalent of James Cook, and you got Odunze, Keenan Allen, as well as DJ Moore, which the Bills kind of got with Cooper, Coleman, and Shakir, and I just think it's a great fit all around for Joe Brady. And I think the Bills are going to have to get prepared with a lot of rumors coming out of this team wants Joe Brady, this team wants Joe Brady, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Bobby Babich rumor coming out sooner or later, just based off of how the defense is looking. It's looking a lot better, and now with Sean McDermott not taking over play calling, I think a middle-of-the-pack defense, which is kind of trending upwards to top 10 to top 5 defense, I think his name will come up a lot in the rumor mill. And all around, I think that the Bills are going to have to start looking for replacements either within the organization itself or who I like to keep pointing towards, which is Brian Daboll. I think Daboll's days are numbered in New York, and I think there's no real coaching jobs out there that are really piquing his interest. I think the Daniel Jones experiment really burnt his hand, and if he goes into an organization, he wants to have a top 5 pick and pick his quarterback. And in my opinion, there's no real top 5, quote unquote, top 5 worthy picks, or top 5 talent worthy picks on the quarterback in this draft class. And if it's not Dable, I think someone within, I don't know who, but I think there will be a hire within to replace Joe Brady himself. Now, let's switch over to the defensive side of the ball, where we had an absolute major injury update from head coach Sean McDermott. During this past bye week, he spoke to the media, and he gave an update on some injuries on that defense side of the ball. Coach McDermott said, again this week being kind of a rehab week for the players that are banged up. The message I'm getting from the training room is, hey, well, let you know kind of how this week goes and then what that looks like for the next week. I took that as I think that Matt Milano's coming back. He was actually spotted at practice. As you can see there, he was spotted back at practice. And I think having Milano back is going to help a lot for this Bills defense. Again, I think he's a cornerstone piece for this defense. I think he'll have a bigger impact than when Vaughn came back. Again, I do think that they'll probably ramp him up. I think he'll be on a snap limit, and I think that him and Dorian will kind of rotate back and forth. And as the playoffs come, Mr. Matt Milano will get back to at least 80 to 90%, and I think 80 to 90% of Matt Milano is better than where Dorian's at. I think Dorian's still learning this playbook, and I think he's still kind of learning the role of what Matt Milano plays. There's moments where he's looked great, and there's moments, again, where he's looked lost, and you can kind of see he's kind of in over his head. Again, he's still playing good for us, and I kind of like how he's playing, but he's not going to compare to Matt Milano. Matt Milano is a top 5 linebacker in this league when healthy, and I think having him back will be really good for this Bills defense, who has been struggling mightily against the run game, with obviously the Ravens game, the Colts game where Derrick Henry was kind of running, not Derrick Henry, the Colts game where Jonathan Taylor was kind of running all over the place over him. And there were even moments in that Kansas City Chiefs game where, again, Kareem Hunt was running all over the Bills. And I think having Matt Milano will kind of bring back an anchor to this defense where Dorian, again, shoots through that hole, but sometimes it's the wrong hole. And I think Matt is not going to shoot through that wrong hole. I think he's going to go and really be a cornerstone to this defense. And again, hopefully he's back for this 49ers game on Sunday. And if he's not, then rest him and have him back for the game after the 49ers. Anyways, some crazy news for the Bills. On the offensive side of the ball there was Joe Brady, and now on the defensive side of the ball with Matt Milano coming back. And stay tapped in at Bills Digest for all your Bills news. Please subscribe, and as always, go Bills.